This program brought to you by Brewski's Bar and Grill, located in Utica, Minnesota. Your one-stop shop for delicious burgers, fries, pizzas, and more.
Michael, you ready?
Yeah.
Welcome to Sports Back Talk with Boley and Ringer. Sorry about the hiatus. We had to take a week off and opening a fishing. We were busy.
Yeah, we got other things in life besides this show. That should be noted, right?
Like a 4-year-old or something.
I went and saw my daughter and her boyfriend's place near Sugarbrook Golf Course in Grand Rapids, and went and did that, and cleaned the backyard up. Did the old diagonal lawn mowing job.
Nice. I like that.
The neighbors get impressed, and then they
you up the ante a little
actually
bit.
then others do it. So I'm just trying to upgrade the value of the housing around.
I did set the lawnmower today, this afternoon. Made sure it was going to run. First pull, whoosh! It started right up. I'm like, now that's the way it's supposed to work.
What do you got to push? Well, for your yard, I mean.
You know how big my yard is.
I know exactly how
big.
And
it's smaller than since you got there because there's a bigger garage in the backyard than when you were growing up.
Oh yeah, we had a minuscule garage, but
so I got it out and did the front yard and got it all.
But do you bring the blades of the mower way down and you cut like a small, or do you let a little air between the grass?
I probably got it in the middle, I would say.
So you let a little air into the grass.
I like, to make it look like it's mown, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be shaved down to the like you're going for the 5 o'clock shadow thing.
Yeah, it's probably healthier for the grass if you leave some seed, I guess, as they say.
My wife would like to aerate the lawn. Do you think the golf course would let me use their aerator to punch some hole?
I could ask gentlemen to my right. I don't think we own an aerator out there.
Yeah. Anyway, well, let's start with your NHL. We'll get started there. Your Boston Bruins.
Yeah, my Bruins. I should have worn my shirt, but I didn't get a chance to go home.
So they took care of business with Carolina. Did Carolina run out of gas? I guess.
No, they just aren't as good as the Bruins. The Bruins are good everywhere. Their third and fourth lines are of equal to the top two lines, minus maybe Christian Aho. I like him for Carolina, but Justin Williams' story got cute. It was fun while it lasted, but no, they didn't have the horses to run with this group of players.
I was on NHL.com today just double-checking my information, and the first thing that pops up, Coyle looking to win Stanley Cup in hometown, and I'm just like, well, this will make Michael happy, so I had to bring it up.
It's fine, and I'm glad a coach finally got through to him. If you remember,
do you think it's the coach or the players that got through to him?
I think there's a little of both. Backus maybe got to him and say, you could be like me if you wanted to be, but a younger version.
Yeah.
And I've always looked at Charlie Coyle as being a David Backus type player, or a Getzlaff. You've heard me say it many times, and
you have.
And for some reason, now I'm looking at Boudreau's track record, and now it's starting to concern me that maybe he doesn't get the most out of his players. That maybe he leans too much on his veteran core. That's why we let Niederreiter go, and they let Coyle go, and almost let Zucker go, according to the pundits. But I don't believe that for a minute. We'll see at the trade or at the draft if they were going to move him. That's when they do. So we'll see what happens.
The other side of the ledger, San Jose goes home yesterday, tied at 2. You would think they're at home. That's a gimme win, or at least a hockey game. But by the time the middle of the second period came, I had to turn the channel.
Yeah, 5-love, total domination by the Blues, which surprised me a bit. That series is not over though. Don't be surprised if San Jose wins that next game.
It's going to go 7.
I think so.
No doubt about it in my mind. I'll still stand by the Sharks.
So
Sharks win this.
It's down to this, really.
Yes, Sharks win it.
I go Blues just because I'll take the advantage of an extra game. But
sure.
Who do you got winning the Cup? I think we're both in agreement on this. Maybe not.
The way Boston took care of business, right now I'd have to say Boston is the favorite, and I would say right now in 6 games. It'll be interesting to see what the travel
it's
back
going to be, especially if it's in San Jose. Yeah. We're talking, do you know the way to San Jose? And probably most Boston people do not. And they travel well too, Ringer. I've seen a lot of them show up at the XL, and That's a long trip to do it. They might do it one time and might enjoy it, but we'll see what happens. It's going to be a fun playoff series, but I kind of quit watching a little bit. I don't watch it as much now.
Well, yeah, it's not as on
There's
as...
just too much going on. Yesterday I was golfing, and next weekend... Well, yeah.
What'd you shoot?
I don't know. I don't ever get to see the scorecard. You got Tony Olinko over there, and he always seems to, take mulligans on every hole and gets a better score than me. I got to question where his ethics are.
All right. So were you between 80 and 90? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was low 80s, like 80, 81 to 82. I'd say that was my number.
So you're telling me that you're nearly Smokey Bear ready?
No, I'll never get to that level again, but I can beat Tom Levine, I know that, but I got to get out there with him. He's out there in Snobsville where, they got their own little groups. They don't invite us lessers, okay? And so I'm waiting for invites, and right now I've not received any.
So my thought to you is you are in the senior division, and in the 150, low 150s for 2 days is a winning score. And if you could get Bob Mason to maybe have to go to the NHL draft or something maybe that weekend, maybe he wouldn't show up.
That's the difference between Boley and those guys. If I'm told I have to golf in the senior division, I will. Otherwise, I'm playing with the young boys.
You point over to these guys over here, these are the young.
I'm in the senior division. See, these two are in senior division. I will not do that. I'm trying to win the tournament.
So you're staying with the Pat McBride approach.
Because what is it?
Patty McBride he's not going to go with those seniors unless he absolutely has to.
I think he has, actually.
Just the last year, this past year.
But I want to play with the young boys and try to get in their heads and. But
talk a little smack and do it.
Yeah, but when they're up 80 yards ahead of me, I think it'll come to realism. Maybe I should be back with
when you whiz one by their ear, kind of. So speaking of the young Bombers, let's talk about Brooks Koepka.
Yeah, we can talk.
Were you getting nervous yesterday that he was going to blow it?
No, I think everybody in the United States of America and everybody on that golf course wanted Dustin Johnson to tie him.
Yeah,
because that's what they're there for.
Sure.
Even the Brooks Koepka fans kind of, they're probably really the only ones that wanted Koepka to win, but people like drama. People want the low scores to be close, and they kind of got it at the end.
Don't. If you're a Dustin Johnson fan, I don't want you to be whatever.
Did he choke?
He choked again.
I think so.
He choked again.
I think so.
He had Koepka on the ropes, and he does it almost every time he gets into this situation. He gets close, and I'll just use the expression I always use. He peed right down his leg, and he let a chance to win another major go awry, and now he's got the Grand Slam of runner-ups.
Yeah, that shot he hit over the green was mind-boggling. Yeah. He was against the wind. The only trouble, that he could have had is stay away from a bogey, give your chance at a birdie. Well, he took that right out and gave himself a bogey because of it, and that was the end of the tournament. And I don't know what he was thinking, but he could say he went for it, but I say he
nuked it. He
kind of tightened up around.
He tightened up a little bit. Those kinds of things happen when thousands of people are watching. That can happen. Yeah. So some people are comparing Brooks to Tiger. Are we getting into that? Are we getting into that time frame?
I think we have to. He dominated those first 3 days of golf. I haven't seen anybody dominate since Tiger played.
Huh?
And he just looked so nonchalant and relaxed about it, and that was the scary part. Some players will show a little nervousness. He showed none of that.
Until those four bogeys
how
in a row.
long can a guy hold a chip on his shoulder? He's mad at the media, and he's won 4 out of the last 8 majors. The media's got to start giving his due, so he'll start playing back down to earth. But I don't think you want him to have a chip on his shoulder because he just goes out there and wipes the field.
So is he like, if we are going to make a bet for the U.S. Open now in 4 weeks, are we taking him against the field basically like we used to with Tiger?
I would. It's a good course for him. It's along where it needs to be, and there is more room in those fairways, so he does have some room. It does fit Tiger and Phil Mickelson, although I don't think Phil has a chance. But Phil Mickelson's won that tournament many times, just the regular Pebble Beach. So.
Yeah, and Dustin as well. You won it this year, so. So you got to put them right in there. It's going to be fun. I have to admit.
And that's what, 3 weeks?
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
4 weeks. I think it's the 13th through the 16th, if I remember right.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of time between majors now, and by mid-July, all the majors will be done.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they had moved the playoffs up as well.
Yeah.
That the playoffs are done before football starts. That was their whole rationale.
They changed everything, but
well, I think they did.
I hope they don't ruin it like NASCAR ruined NASCAR.
Well, I think they were trying to get done before football. NASCAR said we're going to put our playoffs right in the middle of football, and they've gone away. And I think that's why golf thought we should do something. And now they basically got their 5 majors, if you want to call it the TPC.
Yeah.
Now in March they got 5 months in a row where they've got a major. I know they were talking this weekend about maybe the fact that some of these guys don't like to play the week before a major. So now you got 3 tournaments in between majors, and some of these tournaments can't get anybody to show up because it's the week before a major. And I'm like, some guys should be playing the week before a major, not taking the week off.
Well, Koepka proved that again, right?
Yes.
Koepka prepared. Tiger's been ill. Some say his back's acting up. So I don't know. Something's not right. He just didn't seem like he was 100% in. Of course, he has some personal stuff that always seems to follow him around. And but when you're not feeling well, I mean.
Yeah, but I look at that course, and I mean Molinari and everybody. I mean everybody.
It's kind of a boring course. There's really not a lot of. I think the last 3 U.S. Opens have been boring, or majors have been boring. The courses haven't been.
Do you think? Well, I know the TV commentators kept saying about you're so far away from the clubhouse because it stretches all the way out, and you're so far away, and it's almost like a links course, kind of like what you get out in Scotland, where they put 9 holes out and 9 holes back in. And I'm just like, well, that's the way the course is set up. There, the
17 tee box. I mean, 17 greens a long way from 18 tee box. I think they timed it out at about a 5-minute stroll. So.
Is that how long it was
taking?
Yeah,
it was a long ways. But anyways, good PGA Championship. Brooks Koepka, there's no question he's the best player in the world. And now there's questions on Dustin Johnson, and more, I guess, staggering is there's continued questions on Ricky Fowler.
When's it going to happen?
I don't know if it will. The longer it goes, Ringer, the harder it gets.
The harder it will get. I agree with you. Let's move to the NBA a little bit. Golden State up 3-0 on Portland. Over. That is over.
People were saying the other one was over after 2. And included your buddy, Stephen A. Smith.
I watched, I'll say it this way, I watched the last 4 minutes of regulation last night of Milwaukee-Toronto, and I watched a good share of the 2 overtimes. And Giannis ended up falling out, but down the stretch, no touches. I mean, literally, he was not even touching the basketball.
Why?
Great. I don't know. To me, he's possibly the MVP of the NBA, and he doesn't touch the basketball. I think I counted twice in the last 4 minutes he touched the ball. I mean, not even like on a steal or what. I mean, he actually, and I'm just like, it's a 24-second clock. How can he not touch the basketball? So,
well, Tom Thibodeau was on this morning on one of those shows. And I don't know why he was on there, but they were asking questions about NBA. I'm guessing that was probably brought up. And what would he say? Well, I don't have Andrew Wiggins.
Well, like I said, it was mind-boggling to me what was going on. But Milwaukee does win that in 5 games. You
think so?
Milwaukee wins it in 5 games. Golden State wins it in 4, so we'll get the NBA Finals started sometime
So
next
Golden
week.
State finishes it. That's tonight, right?
Golden State finishes it tonight.
Are you going to watch it?
I think it starts at 8 o'clock our time. I might make it that late. I might make it to 10:30 tonight. We'll see.
Fair enough.
If I get tired, no, I'm not gonna make it happen. So
I'm exhausted right now. It's been a long day for
it has been. So the other big news: the Timberwolves are going to take the interim tag away from Ryan Saunders after they went and interviewed all these other guys. And I did say that I thought was going to happen, and I think this is the right guy for the job. I think the new general manager, whatever his name is, I can't remember, he went and talked to the players. And he said to the players, look, who
are you going to play for?
Thank you. Yeah. Are you going to play for this guy? And I think they showed, once he took over for Thibodeau, that they played for him. Now, they didn't make the playoffs and blah, blah, blah. and they probably dug themselves too big a hole, but they showed that they will play for him, and I think that's huge in the NBA.
Yeah, but now they're on Reed. I mean, Ringer, this team is not anywhere near the top 4 teams in the NBA. And now we got, the Cat, who's going to be going through his basically best times of his career.
Yeah.
Wiggins, who I don't know if he'll ever have the best times of the year. You got Rose, aging star, but he's that. And it's just not a team that you can rebuild.
Yeah, and you get the number 11 pick.
And I know people think it's ludicrous and stupid on my part, but I still think Cat's probably their biggest asset that they probably got to move and just say, unfortunately, we got to blow it up again. I know, it's sad, but they aren't going to win with Cat in the next 5 years. Unless they get lucky at the number 12 pick, which is unlikely. And I mean, we're just going to get average players that just fill average roles, and there's no superstars out there.
But you said unless you can do a Golden State where you get a Steph Curry like they did at like pick 6 or 7, 10 years ago, and then you get lucky and all of a sudden he makes it a place where everybody wants to go play. Now, is Cat that kind of player?
Is Minnesota the type of place?
Minnesota's not. Of course, they said that about Oakland too. You couldn't get players wanting to come to Oakland.
The big 3 year in Minnesota, the Marbury and Garnett and Spring. What was this?
Sprewell.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing about that was they didn't like,
broke that up.
Yeah, they didn't like the cold weather, and that's one of the drawbacks. I agree to that. So,
how about you? Like, say you were a big NBA star. Would you play in Minnesota for?
Well, I mean, I'm used to being in Minnesota. I'm used to the cold. I'll live with the cold. More golfers.
Yeah, how you doing today? Good to see you again. Anyways, I mean, people from all over the world come and see us.
The thing about it is, I think the biggest thing is it's the money, and enough money will bring anybody anywhere. So.
That's what it comes down to.
It comes down to money.
And
can you get enough guys to come to the same place to do it? They did it in the Windy City.
They went to San Francisco. That's not real attractive. It's wine country, but it's not really a place where a bunch of players would maybe say, hey, we're going to San Francisco.
I agree.
But
so
who knows?
Let's move on to the Twins.
The Twins, first team in first place in what though?
Central, the AL. Well, they've got the best winning percentage in baseball before yesterday. So I don't know if that came.
Oh, they did.
Before they lost yesterday. So I don't know if they're below it or whatever.
I might have jinxed this.
You're going to jinx this. How the hell could you jinx this?
I might have.
You might have?
Yeah.
You mean with your brain?
I got a cousin that lives in Seattle, and Sunday morning I got up in a little bit of a bully mode. Oh, you saw it?
I saw you
were part of that group. Oh, yeah. I said, bring out the brooms. And he didn't like that. And Darcy said to me this morning when I stopped for coffee, he says, thanks for jinxing us. So my brother-in-law, Darcy, said I jinxed the Twins. That's why they lost yesterday against the Mariners. Now they start out in the Angels at Anaheim. Probably take 2 or 3, eh?
Yeah, 2 or 3 would be all right on the road.
They struggled with them at home, though.
Yeah, it's going to be a good series. Odorizzi goes tonight on Monday night here as we record this. So
what about the relief on the Minnesota Twins? May got dinged a little yesterday, but he's been good. Overall, I'm reading the stats today on Twitter, and they're supposedly good. They got rid of the guy I wanted to get rid of, Hildenberger. But can that relief staff hold on to some of these wins?
I think, and I might be wrong on this, but I think what's going to happen, Mike, is that they're waiting till mid-July. They're going to see if they can hang on, and they're going to see where are we at. And if we're someplace good, then we're going to make a move. But till then, we're going to hang on. We're going to keep hoping that we outscore teams. And then if we get to July 20 and we're up by 8 games, or we're even if it's tied, and they're going to go, look, we can make a run at this son of a gun. We need to pick up a pitcher, and they're going to do it then. And that's what I think they're waiting for.
Now the rumors have it that this Major League Baseball draft, which you and I will not be covering, by the way, the teams are waiting for that to happen first before they're going to go after the 2 or 3 guys, because it would cost them draft picks right now if they went after Keshel.
Sure, that makes sense.
Who's the big reliever that played in Boston that everybody Kindrell? That's the one everybody wants, and rumors have it that they won't. None of the teams will touch these guys until after the draft. And then after the draft, it won't cost them any draft picks. So we'll see if that's true. And I'd like to see the Twins get a closer, because they really don't have a true closer.
Yeah, you think they could bring Aguilera or Jeff Reardon out of retirement, maybe?
Maybe Aguilera. I think Jeff might be past his
prime.
I've seen Aguilera. He looks like he can still pitch. I mean, he looks a solid about 175, and he had that little loopy spaghetti arm. You know, he didn't throw overly hard, but boy, he could put the ball where he wanted. Very effective. Reardon threw a little more gas and kind of more intimidating, but both serve their purpose, and both of them part of. Was Aguilera part of a World Series? I believe he was. Yeah.
So let's talk about Miguel Sano, if we might. Back for about a week.
I saw his name on your list.
So how do you things good, bad?
Well, one of my friends, Pimpinware, he is on sells
Twitter.
T-shirts. Really good guy. He thinks he's the most overrated player ever to wear a Twins uniform.
Wow.
There's been a lot of them. Tim Tuffle comes to mind. John Castino, maybe because of injury, I kind of lay off him a little bit. But that's
Miguel's been injured, so
that's a pretty big statement about Miguel Sano, and I think a lot of people were thinking about Buxton in the same light. But I don't know. Sano's intriguing. The guy can hit the ball. He looks good. But we'll see. I mean, he hasn't proven to anybody that he can play long term.
Yes, I agree. If we were sitting here in 6 weeks saying, "Wow, Miguel still looks good," then I think we'd be talking about something. He's still got to prove it. He did hit the ball well in the minors, and he should.
Yeah.
Now he's just got to make sure that he can do it on a semi-regular basis at the major league level. I still believe that he will.
Okay.
Whether it's with the Twins or not is another story, because maybe he's the trade bait to get that pitcher in.
Okay. And I think some team might bite. If Boston has, I guess, a reliever or maybe even a starter that would be of interest to the Twins.
Yeah, they might. I think they could go David Ortiz.
I think they're thinking David Ortiz with that, and yeah, but we'll see, and that would be intriguing. The big green monster for Miguel Sano. I mean, he could be David Ortiz too.
Absolutely.
In Boston. But,
very well could be.
It should be fun to watch. I mean, I hope he does well. And Rosario's been kind of slumping a little bit. He's going to have to get his swing back. And boy, they Scoop and Crone, and boy, these guys have lived up to expectations so far. I mean, what does Crone have, like 12 dingers?
Yeah, Crone, you're going to have a tough time getting him off first base for any reason. I mean, it's crazy.
I mean, see, Joe Mauer retiring helped the Twins.
Could be.
Have you seen that on Twitter too? If I hear one person say C.J. Crone is twice the player Joe Mauer is, he says, if I see it, they're done. I'm going after.
Well, and I think the biggest thing is Joe was Joe. I mean, he was. You couldn't do certain things because Joe was in the lineup. You had to work around him.
Yeah. Very good defensively and could hit singles.
And Crone, I mean, I think if Crone was batting 4-7-2, he'd go out there and play for you. If Joe was batting anywhere except 1, 2, or 3, he'd have had a fit.
Yep.
I love you, Joe, but that's the truth, man. You couldn't.
Well, I thought he probably should have been a leadoff hitter. Yeah, but you kind of want a little speed on your leadoff guy, though, too. But,
how much women's softball, NCAA women's softball, did you watch this weekend?
Nothing. I know the Gophers possibly played today.
They did.
Do you have the results?
They won 8-1.
So they're moving on.
To
Who
play.
They have to beat, Drake or Georgia?
They had to beat Georgia.
Okay,
and
so
they got a 3-run homer in the first inning from Den Hartog, and then they got 4 more in the third or fourth inning to be up 7-0.
Now they go to like a mini super series.
Now they go to the Super Regional at home this coming weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday against LSU.
LSU best of 3.
Best of 3.
And LSU had to come through the back door a little bit.
LSU had to fight back through and had to play
How about Louisiana? Did they get through?
No, Louisiana was in the same Super Regional.
So LSU had to beat them twice?
I believe so, yes. And they did.
Any big upsets?
Probably the biggest really the only upset was Michigan got beat today. Number 15 Michigan got beat by James
Why does
Madison.
that not surprise me?
They're the Big Ten champs.
Big Ten, Ringer. What do I say about the Big Ten? How about UCLA?
UCLA came through.
Okay.
Everybody else in the top 16 except for Michigan came through. And they were at 15.
So typical of the Big Ten. How about Alabama, the team that...
Alabama's number 8, but they had to win. They had to play a second championship game to come through.
Ironically, the Gophers were seeded 7.
Yep.
Alabama 8 this year, but last year 16 and 17 basically.
Yeah, the whole whatever you want to say about it. So,
good for the Gopher softball team. I know they played morning and afternoon games. I was a busy guy today, as always, and Ringer, this new gig of mine, I work hard. I never worked. I mean, I shouldn't say this because I know there's a lot of people that watch this, but I never worked that hard when I was with the state.
And I would say that's because you weren't necessarily going out and getting new customers. You were always working mainly with the same people. So when you walked in the door, they knew what you wanted. You chit-chatted for a little bit and said, hey, here's what we're doing.
Well, that too, but I also knew my job better. I mean, I'm learning what I'm doing now. So.
That's true.
That's enough on that.
Gopher Big Ten baseball tournament starts on Wednesday in Omaha, where the College World Series is played at. The Gophers come in as the number 4 seed. They have to win it all to make it to the NCAA tournament. They're in Omaha for the tournament.
Oh, that's for the old tournament.
For the Big Ten tournament.
And heavens forbid they draw number 5 seed Nebraska.
They get number 5 Nebraska.
And they're home. Not really not home.
Yeah, pretty close.
It's Lincoln and Omaha.
Yeah, it's about 70 miles. So the Gophers have to win it all.
Are you going? No road trip for you and George?
Oh, man.
Speaking of George, where is
Okay. If I'm going to go someplace this weekend, I'm going to go watch Gopher softball. If I can get a ticket Wednesday morning, I'm going.
Okay.
So I'm going to go down. I think they'll be sold out tomorrow.
No way.
They will be sold out tomorrow. Yeah. Right.
How big's the stadium?
About 1,300 they can fit.
Okay.
They'll be sold.
They will be.
They'll be sold out tomorrow. There's no way I'm going to get a ticket Wednesday morning. Disappointing, but we'll have to do what we can do.
Well, you'd have to. Don't you have school on Thursday?
They play Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'd miss game 1 on Friday. I'd go Saturday.
Okay. When's the last day of school?
2 Thursdays.
How long ago did the kids check out?
At least 10 school days ago. At least 10 school days ago they checked out. It has been a battle, I'm going to tell you.
It has to be tough as a teacher because, your job is 110% from day 1 to day whatever. And,
day 174.
Yeah, and
the kids want me to back off.
You've done it enough to understand.
The kids want me to back off, and I'm trying to finish up those last.
Well, these are life lessons you can teach them. Well, you know what, kids? I mean,
you're expected to be here. I expect you to put in.
Yeah, I mean, you got a job to do, and you're in day 363, and you don't want to work day 364 and 365. You could lose your job. Yeah.
So I know some people might say, "Oh, it's time to back off. It's done with." Well, yes and no, but we still got time, and I'd like to finish up. So.
You're not doing your job, to my opinion.
Did you go fishing since we?
No, I have not had the boat out.
Okay.
The pontoon is in. I call my pontoon the Flash.
The Flash.
The Premier Flash.
Okay.
Okay. It's in sit mode. Okay, and it is ready.
Yeah.
It's ready to go. It's been tuned up. I find people at Baduk who takes care of my boat every year. They got it ready for me, and right when I take it off the trailer,
she's gonna be ready to go.
Put it in gear, throw it at about I don't know, 3,500 RPMs, coast around about 15 miles an hour. I'm a happy guy.
I will tell you that the lake is up since we spoke the last time. I was out there Wednesday night, and I would say that it was about 8 to 10 inches below normal. So
still low.
Still low.
How about my pontoon? You know where I park it.
I know where you park it. We didn't go all the way to Shea.
Do I have H2O underneath my boat?
You have H2O underneath, yes. Yeah. You may have to step down a little bit to get in, but you're going to be
stepping down's easy. Stepping up's
up is going to be the tough part.
Yeah.
High school tournaments start this week. We'll kind of finish it up with
tomorrow.
Softball gets started tomorrow. The Bronco girls will be in Eveleth on the road to open up the playoffs as the number 6 seed. Little Fork Big Falls will be at home tomorrow to take on Nashwauk Keewatin. They're the 3 seed. They play. If they win on Tuesday, they make it into the double elimination portion and get to play twice on Thursday. We'll see what happens there. Track and field has their subsection meet in Hibbing on Wednesday, and then their section meet is the following Thursday, so they're getting going. And then, of course, the golf. Boys get started 2 Tuesdays away, next Tuesday, the 28th, and baseball starts on the 28th, and then girls golf on the 29th, and by the 30th.
Boys start early, girls come the next day, then they have both.
And they finally switched that because the girls always used to play Tuesday, Thursday, get a day off in between, and I think the girls coaches finally said, look, we'd like to play back-to-back days so that we don't have that time off in between, so they're going to try that this year and see what happens.
Yeah, and of course our girls would be the section, I guess, the favorites.
Yeah, and they actually ended up losing 3 times to Eveleth during the part of the regular season.
They did,
I think that woke the girls up a little bit and said, hey, you're gonna have to start bringing your A game, and I suspect they will.
Well, they got 2 pretty high-end golfers in Eveleth, but they don't have the depth the Broncos got. And I can see any one of Kenzie Wenberg and Maggie Roeder and Morgan Rasmussen and Olivia Wright. All of them can shoot low 80s, upper 70s. They keep those big numbers out of there. I don't see, if they play their game and stay out of trouble, they will be moving up.
It's going to be, to me, they have the advantage because they've been there before. They know how to handle the pressure. And yes, the first couple of years that they won it, that one year they won by 65 shots. It's not going to be like that this year.
Which is good.
It's probably going to be within 8 to 12 shots, 8 to 15.
Yeah, 8 to 15, but I like the Broncos' chances. Again, girls, I know you're probably not going to see this before the match, but stay out of the big numbers.
Yeah, it's. I think that's play
Take
smart.
Your bogeys and go.
And they've played at the quarry enough. Eveleth has played there, so it's not going to be any surprises.
Now, let me mention that. I know it's high school, and I shouldn't be attacking, but that to me is not a good venue for. And I've said that.
You said that, yes.
High school. Bring it to a traditional golf course like Hibbing, Virginia, Grand Rapids, Pokegama, or Sugarbrook, either one. Tree-lined fairways, no quirky rocks and boulders and stuff, mini putt-putt stuff on the golf course. Okay.
Yeah.
To me, that's not a true test. Section 7 coaches should wake up and say, listen, this is not a true test of the best golfers on the Iron Range. I think those traditional courses, even International Falls would be that, but I think a traditional course like Virginia, Pokegama is a great site for it. Plus, you can't say it's a home course advantage for anybody because, but it's on the range. But that's my opinion on that.
Yeah, I understand your argument, but there's going to be other golf, not pros, aficionados, whatever, that are going to be out there saying, no, they should go play the quarry because that is
because it's mini putt-putt on ice. Is that why?
Yeah, it could be. I mean,
I played all ringer, and to me, it's just not a fair test. It's quirky. It's you could hit a great tee ball and a great second shot
and be in trouble.
Land this short of the green, hit a rock, and you're in the woods somewhere, and you'll never find it. 2 strokes, lost ball. And all of a sudden you're looking at instead of a 4 on a normal course, you could be looking at a 6 to 8, so again, it's just too many goofy shots like that.
Well, and I will say this, I want to say maybe this might be 9-10 years ago, they put the holes in some of the places where, like where the pros would be.
Shame on them.
They actually had people on the one hole. The average number of putts was like 6 for the best golfers out there. There was a kid who ended up 12 putting.
See, who made those decisions?
Well, and we haven't had a situation like that since. They've gotten smart.
Yeah. Does a greenskeeper go out and say, let's have some fun today?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like, I would hope not, and I hope the coaches who normally would have those decisions, because I know Bill Mason, when he was golfing, he placed the pins. He had the greenskeepers put the pins where he wanted. So, whatever.
Yeah, you don't.
You get wound up
it's
on golf.
It's already hard enough. You don't have to make it harder for the kids. So.
No.
Anything else there, Michael?
I don't have anything. Any questions from the audience? Any questions from the audience? Anything about sports? We can answer.
Tim Anderson, is Brooks Koepka the favorite for the U.S. Open?
Who do you think's going to win in the NBA?
Golden State in 5 games, maximum.
I got Milwaukee winning in 7. But neither of them advanced yet. But
I think the Warriors are going to win again, even with everybody hurt.
who's that?
The Warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty tough. Did you know the Wolves could have had Curry?
Did you see who the Timberwolves hired?
Saunders full time, yeah. Right choice.
Right choice.
Right choice to hire Saunders.
God, without you, Timmy, we would have never been able to have this show.
Hey, Timmy, they're on a commercial break.
Anything else from the audience out there? Any questions? Nothing right now. Geez, I've never seen Levine so quiet in my life.
Thanks.
Don't take us too serious.
This program brought to you by Brewski's Bar and Grill, located in Utica, Minnesota. Your one-stop shop for delicious burgers, fries, pizzas, and more.